Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Jai Shri Ram. Welcome to our next episode in our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. As we started in our previous episode, which incidentally is the 100th episode of our complete reading of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, we started off with the kaschit sarga, which again was the 100th sarga of Ayodhyakanda of Srimad Valmiki Ramayana, in which Sri Ramachandra puts a lot of questions to Bharata about Rajadharma and how well Bharata is actually doing Rajadharma. Here all the duties of the kings are being discussed. Till now Sri Ramachandra basically focused on the roles and responsibilities of ministers and how a king should be handling his ministers. Now Sri Ramachandra shifts the focus from the ministers towards the army and the Senapati. The questions on the ministers are over. We are moving towards the army and the Senapatis. So here is the 30th sloka. Kaschit drushtascha surascha matiman dhrutiman suchihi kulinaschanuraktascha dakshas senapati kritaha. So I hope you have appointed someone who is content. The first quality that Sri Ramachandra is mentioning here is content. And then Sura. Sura is a person who is really very good at war and who can go and fight with any enemy at any point of time, who is not really afraid. Shura. Matiman, someone who has got very good intellect. Dhrutiman, someone who is having the dhairya or the bravery. Suchihi here actually is not about the bodily suchi, it's about the intellectual or cleanliness at the mind level, which is honesty. Kulinaha, someone who is coming from a good family. Kulinaha. Chanuraktascha, someone who is really interested in serving the king, who has Raja Bhakti. Dakshaha is someone who is Samardha, who can do an activity. I hope you have made such a person as your Senapati, so the commander in chief. He should be having all these qualities. And then he is saying, Balavantascha kaschitte mukhya yuddha visharadaha drushtapadana vikrantas tvaya satkritya manitaha. I hope you are taking good care of the people who are very good fighters. Hope you are giving them enough promotions, enough recognition to those people who are strong, who can fight well, and who have already proved themselves in the past wars. Hope you are rewarding them constantly. Kachit balasya bhaktam cha vetanam cha yadhochitam samprapta kalam datavyam dadasi na vilambase. Hope you are keeping the food for the army always ready. So you are giving them good food which should be given to the soldiers. So it's not a normal food. The soldiers need a bit of different diet, right? We all know they take a higher protein quantity. And also hope you are giving that sort of food and hope you are doing it on a daily basis. Hope you have it constantly and hope you are giving them enough salary. He's saying vetanam cha yathochitam, the correct salary that you need to give to them. Hope you are giving them in a proper way. Samprapta kalam datavyam, you are giving it on time. Dadasi na vilambase. Vilamba means delaying. So hope you are not delaying the grants on food and salaries to the soldiers. Kalati kramanachaiva bhakta vetana yorbhrutaha bhartuh kupyanti dushyanti sonartha sumahan smurtaha. Here he is saying what happens if the king delays the salary to the army. If the food, ahara, and the salary, vetana, are not being given on time, the soldiers, the servants of the king, they quickly get very angry and they'll start going against the king, and this might end up becoming the root cause for a lot of trouble in the kingdom. Hence, hope you are paying your salaries on time. Kaschit sarvenu raktastvām kulaputrah pradhanatah kaschit pranam stavardheshu santya janti samahitah. All kshatriyas, people who are fighters, who are natural fighters, hope they are all having a good thought about you. Hope they all have anuraga towards you. And hope they are all united when they are standing behind you. Because when you have such loyal people, victories are assured. So hope all the people who are good fighters in the kingdom, hope they are standing behind you and hope they are ready to give away their life also for you. Now, till now, it was predominantly about the army. Now, Sri Ramachandra is moving towards the ambassadors and people who go and do the deals for the kingdom. He is saying, Kaschit Janapado Vidvan Dakshina Pratibhanavan Yathoktavadi Dutaste Kruto Bharata Panditaha. Oh Bharata, hope you have picked someone who is born in this kingdom. Why? Because when you're born in a place, you have a natural liking towards that place. And Kaschit Janapado Vidvan, someone who knows the things. Dakshinaha here means someone who is Samardha, who can handle work. Yadhoktavadi, someone who is blessed, with Samaya Spurti. Samaya Spurti is speaking the right word at the right time and having a great ability to think on his or her feet through that Samaya Spurti. And Yadhoktavadi here, the symbol word again means this person, he can give away the message as you have instructed, which essentially means hope he doesn't add his own lines to it because he is going as an ambassador. He is supposed to convey whatever you have conveyed. So, hope such a person has been appointed as your Duta, as your ambassador, O Bharata. Kachidasta Dasanyeshu Swapakshe Dasapanchicha Tribhistrivi Pravigyataihi Vetsi Tirthani Charakaihi. So in the enemy kingdom, for all the 18 people, hope you have 15 people, and without the knowledge of others, hope you are putting 3 and 3 spies, and you are getting to know. So now I'll give you those 18 people who are supposed to be spied upon in the enemy's army. So Sri Ramachandra has now moved from the ambassadors to the spies. He's saying who should be spied on the enemy's side? Ministers, their purohitas, because from purohitas you get to know what are the yajnas and yagas the kings are planning to do. The Yuvaraja, the heir apparent of the enemy, the Senapati, their commander in chief, the Dwarapalakas, because they get to hear everything, the people who stand outside the doors, Dwarapalakas, Antahpuradhikaras, people who are the heads of the palace, and then people who are Karagara Adhikaras, which means people who are jailers, Dhanadhyaksha, head of treasury, Karyaniyojaka, someone who gets works done in the kingdom, Pradvivakas means the judges, Senanayakas, the smaller commanders, Nagaradhyakshas, the mayors, Karmantikas, people who are experts in making things like the people who make swords, the people who make wooden instruments. They know how much of wooden instruments are being made or how many swords are being made, through which you get to know if the enemy is heavily investing in the army. And Sabhadikrita, someone who is heading any sabha over there. Dharmadhikaras, people who teach dharma in that kingdom. Dandapala, people who are to carry out the punishments. Okay, and then Durgapalas, people who are in charge of the forts. Rashtrantapalaka is the person who is taking care of the bordering districts of a kingdom. Rashtrantapalaka. So these 18 people in the Satru Paksha, in the enemy's side, they should be spied upon. And for each of these 18 people, there should be 3 spies, and the king should know how these 18 departments in the enemy's camp are functioning, and in his own kingdom. In his own kingdom, so 18 of the enemy's kingdom, in his own kingdom, the king should leave the ministers, the purohitas, and his own son, and but the other 15 people who are there in his own kingdom, he should have again spies who are set up. Okay, and he should always get the details of these 3 people, which means 18 from the enemy's side, 15 from his own side. Then we might ask, why are mantri, why are purohita, and why are the yuvaraja or the heir apparent left? Because those 3 are always there with the king. So the king need not spy on his own yuvaraja, on his own ministers, and on his own purohita, because he regularly talks about almost everything with them. That's unless it's very, very extreme need, they need not spy on them. Hence, 18 on the enemy side, 15 on his own side. Those all people should be spied upon, and for every person over there, there should be at least three spies who would be coming back and giving the report to the king. So look at how Sri Ramachandra is telling the duties of the king very very beautifully here. Okay, and then he's saying kaschit vyapasta nahitan pratiyatamsya sarvada durbalanava yajnaya vartase ripusudana. O king, O Bharata, anyone who has been defeated by you, you should never ever relax about that particular person. Hope you are not relaxing about that particular person, because he might come back, and this time he might come back and fight with vengeance. Hence, hope you are keeping enough control, or hope you are tracking the activities of the people whom you have defeated. I think India lost because we did not follow this dharma. When you look at Muhammad Ghori, Prithviraj Chauhan defeats him for the first time, but he doesn't really track what Muhammad Ghori is doing. Muhammad Ghori comes back, and this time Prithviraj Chauhan ends up paying with his own life. So Ramayana teaches us that once someone has been defeated by you, always be very very vigilant about what that person is doing. Okay, we'll move on. Kachinna loka yatikan brahmanam stata sevase anardha kusala hyete bala pandita maninaha. Now the military part is over. He is moving towards the religious part. Here he is saying, hope you are not letting any atheists come and cloud your judgment. Many Brahmins who end up as Nastikas, they cause more problems. Hence, hope you are keeping them away. Dharmasastreshu muksheshu vidyamaneshu durbudhaha खलु प्रमान्वी कक्षीं प्राप्य निर्धरम pravadamti te. Those people, those bad pandits, they try to reject the dharma shastras and they bring in some sort of tarka which is nirardhaka for the sake of the kingdom. So till here in these 10 slokas we saw Sri Ramachandra touching on various subjects and asking multiple questions to Bharata. Let us look at the other questions of Sri Ramachandra in our next episode, because as I told before, we want to go very very slow in this particular sarga, because this is where Sri Ramachandra is giving us the Rajaniti. He is telling how a king should rule the kingdom, and in terms of asking Kushala Prashnas, he is asking Bharata all these things. Hence, we'll go very very slowly in this particular sarga, and we'll see what Sri Ramachandra is going to ask next. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम सर्वं सत् श्री साई महाराज स्वामी चरणारविन्दार्पणमस्तु. स्वस्ति. जय श्री राम.